Still stars, we are making a blazer. You will love it. This is the first blazer tutorial on the channel. We are starting with a pattern drafting tutorial, of course. We'll move on to create a two-piece sleeve. And for this particular one, I have a shoulder pad included. So if you have been wanting to learn how to make a suit jacket or a blazer, you are in the right place. This is Kemafrik. My name is Kemafrik. Let's do this. To kickstart this, we'll be starting with the basic bodice block, but we are drafting the back first. So I am creating the margin here, which represents the center back. From the center back, I measured the neckline width of 3.5 inches. You can make use of 3.3 inches rather. And also the neckline depth of half an inch, just because we are going to be attaching a collar. Next, let's mark the shoulder width and then have a 1-inch shoulder drop, which will be connecting to the tip of the neckline to create our shoulder slant. Now, if you are familiar with the basic bodice block, you will know everything I'm doing right here. So I am positioning my chest line. So I just added 1 inch to the measurement I took on the shoulder, and I use that to estimate the position of the chest line, and I am drawing out the chest line right there. Then I took the same measurement for my shoulder width on the chest line so that I can get this armhole line you have right here. To create room for the shoulder pad, I am raising this shoulder by half an inch and also extending it by half an inch outside the armhole line. So we are going to create a new armhole curve right there to connect our new shoulder tip to the chest line. Here is the waistline for the back, and the measurement I used there was 16 inches, and here I have the hemline, which is along the hip line. Okay, now let's position the dart line for the back. I marked 4.5 inches from the center back. You can make use of your bust pan when doing this. Then go ahead and connect your marking. I marked it on the chest line, on the waistline, and on the hip line to create my dart line, which is straight. Okay, now on the waistline, go ahead and take the width of your dart. I made use of 1 inch, that is half an inch on both sides of my dart line, and I connected that point to the chest line and to the hip line like this. For this particular blazer, I will be contouring the center back. It is not compulsory. So along the waistline, mark 0.75 inward and connect this marking to the center line, that's the center back line at the neckline part of your pattern. Then also connect it to the hip line, so that way the center back will slip into the body properly. It also depends on how curvy your client is. So because it is a jacket, I don't want it to be too tight, right? I replaced my measurement along the side. Okay, so we haven't lost anything right there. On the chest line, take the bust circumference, divide it by 4 and take your marking. On the hip line, take the hip circumference, divide it by 4 and take your marking, and you connect both of these to the waistline to create your side line or side curve. So now we are going to create a shoulder dart for this. So I marked the center of my shoulder line and I'll be connecting it to the apex of the dart right here. You can also make use of an armhole dart, but for this we are making use of a shoulder dart. Here I am taking the measurement of the neckline curve and I have 3.75 inches right there. I will just have this written somewhere because we are going to need it when we are creating the collar for the front pattern. Now let's go ahead and cut. If you have watched this far, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and drop a comment. This will help this video reach more people and I would really appreciate that. Thank you. Now at the side of this pattern, go ahead and raise the hemline by 1 inch. Then you connect it using a curve. This just helps that side sit properly so it doesn't look sharp, awkward, and unprofessional. Now go ahead and label your patterns before separating the panels. Now that our back pattern is set, let's just set this aside so we can work on the star of the show, which is the front pattern. Of course, we are starting with the basic bodice block, right? So here I am marking the bust line, the under bust line, the waistline, and also the hip line. To position the dart line, mark the bust span divided by 2 on the bust line, the waistline, and on the hip line. Then go ahead and connect your markings to create your straight dart line. For the dart, I'll be marking 0.75 inch on both sides of my dart line along the waistline, and I'll connect this measurement to the bust line and also to the hip line, hence creating our waist dart. Now let's move on to the neckline. From the center front, I marked the neckline width of 3.5 inches. The standard is 3 inches, and a neckline depth of 3 inches to create the neckline curve. And then I went ahead to mark the shoulder width. Be sure to make use of your own measurement. I'll be slanting this front shoulder by 1 inch, just like I did for the back. And to mark the position of the chest line, I took the same measurement I took for the shoulder width, added 1 inch to it, and I ended up with 9.5 inches, which I marked right there as the depth of the chest line. So in marking this, I can now draw out the chest line. On the chest line, measure the shoulder width divided by 2. That's the same measurement you marked on the margin. Then connect it to the shoulder drop right there to create the armhole line. Next, we'll be adjusting the shoulder drop. So we are going to end up dropping the shoulder by only half an inch instead of 1 inch in order to make room for the shoulder pad. We are also extending the width of the shoulder by half an inch. Now I am connecting this new shoulder tip to the chest line, and we have our front armhole curve. Next, on the chest line, we are marking the bust circumference divided by 4. On the waistline, the waist circumference divided by 4 plus the dart intake of 1.5 inches, and we marked it on the waistline. Now on the hip line, take the hip circumference divided by 4. I added additional 1 inch for ease. You can add half an inch or more. Now let's connect all our markings, and we have the side of the front pattern. Now on the bust line, I am measuring 2.5 inches downward, which is the difference between the back half length and the front half length to create the side dart. On the shoulder line, take the measurements of the shoulder width, divide it by 2, and mark it on the shoulder line. Then connect your marking to the apex of the dart to create the shoulder dart for the front. Now it is time to create the collar for our notched collar jacket. Here I attach some extra papers to the front and also to the top of my pattern. You can put this into consideration before starting these bodies, but mine is about 4 inches wide right here. So I am adding an additional 1 inch to the center front line right there, and this is going to just be the space for our button to sit and also for our jacket to lap over its other side. And from that point, I'll be measuring 1 inch downward. So we are trying to create the notch on the notch collar jackets. I marked 1 inch downward and I curved it into the rest of the neckline like this, and then I extended it further. So from the center front line, the original center front line, I took a measurement of 2.5 inches, and that would just be the tip of the lapel of our jacket. Next, you need to decide on where you want to position the break point. Okay, you can extend it to the waistline or you come upward. I will be coming upward by 3 inches to position, or 2.5 inches rather, to position the break point. So I'll be connecting the tip of the lapel to that point. Next, I am drawing broken lines because they are not permanent, right? They are just there to guide us. I'm drawing broken line from the break point towards the tip of the neckline curve, and I'm extending it beyond the neckline curve. Do you remember the measurement we took along the back neckline? Yes, that one. From the tip of the neckline here, you mark that measurement upward. Ours was 3.75 inches. So I'm just confirming that my measurement was correct. So take it on your neckline extension right there. And from that point, go towards the armhole by 1/2 inch and place your curve this way. Then you blend into the tip of your neckline. Just follow me, okay? Next, go ahead and retake your measurements. Since you have adjusted the line right here, retake your measurement and be sure that you still have the width of your back neckline curve, okay? So after doing that, use this curve or any other curve that has a perpendicular angle right there, 90-degree angle. Then go ahead to create a line perpendicular to the first line. So depending on how wide you want your collar to go, I made use of 4 inches. I mean the height of the collar now. So I marked 4 inches for mine. I won't recommend you do less than 3 inches anyways, or more than 5 inches. So yeah, we got the sweet spot. So now we want to create the notch, okay? So we are going to connect the tip of the line we drew, the last line we drew. We are going to connect it somewhere here. But in order to create our notch, I came inward by 2 inches from the apex of my lapel right there, okay? And I'm just trying to create a notch. You know what a notch is, right? So there are no hard and fast rule here. So I came upward by 1 inch, then came to the side by 1.5 inch. I hope you follow, okay? I hope you follow. Yes, I'm just trying to create like a V-shaped notch, okay? It's not like you must use this exact measurement, but it is just a guide. You can rewind and rewatch so that you'll be able to recreate this if you want this exact same shape, okay? So now I'm connecting this tip to the other tip. I'm connecting the tip of my notch to the tip of my collar. So we have our collar right here, and we have our lapel. Then we have this V-shaped notch. Let's quickly go over it. In order to create this, I came inward by 2 inches, then came upward by 1 inch, then to the side by 1.5 inch to create the notch, okay? Now just label your pattern, and you can go ahead to separate the collar from the rest of the pattern. When it's time to transfer this pattern to fabric, remember to put a notch on the pattern. You notch this shoulder line so that when you are fixing your collar, you'll be sure to place this against the shoulder line on the fabric. And you will also notch the notched position between the collar and the lapel right there. Okay, now we'll repeat the same thing we did for the back pattern here. We are raising up the hip line along the side by 1 inch so that we can have a curvy side right there. Then you can go ahead to cut out the pattern. The collar will be cut out, but then the lapel remains a part of the bodice. Also, don't forget to close up the side darts. Okay, you're transferring the side darts to the shoulder. So slash through the shoulder dart and then close up the sides. Tape it down, then you can separate your pattern into panels. Now on this corner of the front pattern, we are going to make it curvy. This is not compulsory, okay? So I'm just going to come inward by about 3 inches as a guide, and then do the same thing on the vertical side. Then I'll use that as a guide to create a curve, which I'll be cutting out. Now we have the front pattern for our notched collar jacket or blazer with its reve collar. Here also we have the 2 panels of the back pattern. Now let us transfer this pattern to fabric. For my fabric of choice, I am making use of this beautiful Ankara fabric, aka African print, and I ended up using 3 yards of this fabric. Before I started the pattern transfer, I steam pressed my fusible interfacing onto the fabric to give it some structure. I will also be cutting out lining and facing for this jacket, so you should watch out for that. I'll be making use of suit lining for that purpose, interfaced as well with a light interfacing. For this center front panel, I am adding half an inch along the shoulder line, the center front line, the dart line, and also the hem, basically half an inch all round. Before you continue watching, kindly give this video a thumbs up and check if you have actually subscribed to the channel, because analytics tells us that about 83% of our viewers are not subscribed. Please do that. You're helping this channel grow bigger and better. Thank you. Now for the side panel, the front or the side front panel, I will also be adding half an inch on along the dart line, the shoulder line, the armhole line, and the hem, but then I'll be adding 1 inch on the side. And the same thing goes for the center back and side back panels. Here are all the panels ready to be sewn. But before then, I told you that we're making a 2-piece sleeve for this jacket. If you know you have been struggling with making jackets or blazers, or your sleeve usually looks weird and unprofessional, you should definitely watch the next video where I'll be showing you how to create a professional sleeve for jackets and blazers. Don't miss that for anything. It will be included in the cards once this video ends. So that will be the end of this video. Be sure to watch out the sleeve tutorial and also the sewing tutorial. Thank you for watching. My name is Kemafrik. You're welcome to Kemafrik. Subscribe if you haven't. Give it a thumbs up and drop a comment in the comment section. Love you guys. Bye.